talk about our presentation today, Super Shoppers Standout Results. So like Jasmine said, my name is Jet and I'm a product marketing manager on the shopping team. And so today we will go over why Pinterest is a great place to shop and what results you can anticipate from investing in a platform full of super shoppers. And I'll share some exciting new features that we have launched in the past few months. So on the next slide, we'll start with some facts about Pinterest shoppers. So if you are a Pinterest shopper or if you bought something on Pinterest, just write it in the chat. So some people can't hear me. If you can't hear me, just making sure. Okay, some people can. Yeah, just make sure you're using Google Chrome. That might be the issue. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, and Joe,
all right, so
our moderator, will be sharing.
Got it. Okay. So if you've bought something on Pinterest, if you've been inspired or you purchased something directly on Pinterest, write in the chat. I'm curious what you've bought before. Never? Okay, maybe we'll change after this presentation. Lashes? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. I bought shoes on Pinterest, actually. I shop on Pinterest, home decor items, taking recommendations for travel. Furniture, that's exciting, from Maria. Digital products from Freda. A dress from Rachel. Never. Okay, so we see we have a mix of people that have bought things, dog accessories, shoes, awesome, lots of clothes. So exciting that people are already like in this chat. I know a lot of you are merchants, but you're buying things already from Pinterest. So that's exciting. And so Pinterest shoppers are different. They love shopping and spend 2 times more than shoppers on pure platforms. So we see whether you're buying a dress for a party or something for your dog, you're coming on Pinterest with the intent to shop. Next slide, Jasmine. And so Pinterest users are also spending more each time they shop. So shoppers on Pinterest have 85% larger baskets at checkout. So they're coming to Pinterest with the intent to shop. They're spending a little bit more time and they're buying more expensive items. Next slide. So now that we've established why Pinterest shoppers are different, my goal is to help the shoppers find you. And so they can't find you if they can't shop your store. And so the step to make sure that they find you is to upload your catalog. You can go to the next slide. And so uploading your product catalog is the key to reaching high value shoppers. And so when you upload your catalog, you're able to have your products featured on so many different shopping surfaces on Pinterest. You see the search bar, like the search section on Pinterest, your products can be featured in there. Unique features such as shopping list, and then Pinterest users are able to shop from pins. So they're able to see tagged products and pins, and they're able to shop from there. And these are things that you're only able to access if you upload a product catalog on Pinterest. Next slide. And I saw a question earlier asking, do you need to depend on ads to reach customers? And so the answer actually is no. So even though having shopping ads will catapult your shopping presence even further, you can actually just organically have a presence on Pinterest and make sales. So merchants with a product catalog uploaded have 5 times more impressions than those without. Next slide. And it all starts with catalogs. And so are folks here familiar with catalogs? If you've heard of, if you've used the catalogs feature, just comment in the chat if you've used it before, or if your catalog is uploaded on Pinterest. So Alicia, yes, your catalog is uploaded on Pinterest. Please explain catalogs. I am not. Catalog is uploaded. Oh, awesome. So I'm excited that a lot of people have their catalog uploaded. Getting sales, Birdie getting sales organically, Shopify integration. So this is awesome. So a lot of people have their catalogs uploaded. So for those who don't have their catalogs uploaded, I'll explain what catalogs is. I saw Darshana said explain please. So on the next slide, we're gonna explain what catalogs is. So Catalogs is our feed ingestion tool that makes it easier and seamless for our clients to upload their catalogs onto Pinterest. So you go into the catalogs tool when you create a business account and you're able to upload a product feed so that your products appear on Pinterest. So they appear with price, they appear with availability, and merchants can click on them and go directly to your website and buy those products. So I saw Aaron said that Shopify pushes my catalog through. So yes, so there are multiple ways. So I'm explaining right now the way to upload on Pinterest.com, but there are actually several other ways to upload your catalog. So if we go to the next slide, we can talk about another way. So recently we launched a WooCommerce integration. So if you have a Shopify feed, you can shout out in the comment section if you have a Shopify feed. So Shopify was our first integration platform. So if you go into Shopify, if you're a merchant that has a Shopify store, you can actually access an app within Shopify, and it's really quick. You can just add the app and integrate Shopify, and you actually get credits to run a campaign on Pinterest. So Rajiv said Shopify for the win. Alicia, WooCommerce. So yes, so now you can access a Pinterest feed through the WooCommerce integration as well. And so please help us with Squarespace to make Pietra. I understand with Squarespace, we don't have that integration yet, but I promise we are looking at integrations across the map, and we are working to have additional integrations as well. But Shopify and WooCommerce are ones that we have available. Antonio said, is this available at the US? Yes, it should be available across anywhere where there's really shopping on Pinterest. You should be able to access a Shopify integration and the WooCommerce integration as well. And then next slide. So product tagging is something that you're able to access with uploading catalogs. So I saw this question come up as well. So that's something really cool. If you ever see a scene pin, like this kitchen, for instance, you can actually upload an image and tag the different products within that image. So that's a feature that's only available if you upload your catalog. Next slide. And as mentioned earlier, we do have a verified merchant program. So when you upload your catalog, you can actually apply for the verified merchant program. And so with this program, you have this blue check mark, this coveted blue check mark that lets users know you're a verified merchant, they can trust you, and they can buy directly from you because you've been vetted by Pinterest. And additionally, you get a shop tab, and you also get access to additional features such as merchant details, which I'll discuss later, and you have enhanced distribution on Pinterest. So I'd recommend if you are on Pinterest and you have a catalog uploaded, apply for the Verified Merchant Program. It's free and you get all these benefits. So if you are a verified merchant, shout it out in the comments as well. We'd love to see it. Nicole, this is exciting info. Yes. Can someone help with a verified merchant program? So we'll be able to, I'll talk a little bit more about the verified merchant program as we go on as well, but definitely go and try to access that if you have your catalog uploaded. Next slide. Nadia is verified. Awesome. Verified on 2 accounts, Laura. That's great. Charisse, if you keep getting denied, we can talk about some issues that you might be having, like if you ask questions, and we can talk about what the specific issues are. But I'm glad to see a lot of merchants here are verified. Merchant details, international expansion. So if you are a verified merchant, you do have access to merchant details. And because we have so many international clients and merchants on here, we have expanded the merchant details to additional countries such as Canada, Germany, and Australia. And so the merchant details are displayed on your storefront. So you can let users know what values you align to: eco-friendly, inclusive, women-owned, invested in good, Black-owned. So these are some of the merchant details you can add to your profiles to let pinners know what values you align with, and so they can shop their values. Next slide. And if you are a beauty customer, shout out your business, whether it's like lipstick or eyeshadow, if you're a beauty brand, we do have some really cool features that, again, you can only access if you upload a catalog. Body and skincare, awesome. So you can have this feature called Try On for Beauty where pinners can actually see what lipstick or eyeshadow looks like on you. Some of the comments are making me laugh. So this is super exciting. As you see, this woman's trying on lipstick. And so this is really cool for beauty customers. And so Pinterest will continue to evolve their AR technology. But again, these are catalog features. Next slide. And like I said earlier, with the verified merchant, you also get a shop tab on your business profile. So when when pinners go to your profile, they can click on the shop tab and they can actually shop from your profile. And so this is a really unique way for merchants to really display a presence, a storefront on Pinterest. And this is available to the countries you see here: US, UK, Germany, Canada, France, Australia, Brazil, and more. And so now we've talked about some of the organic features that are available with Pinterest shopping. So let's talk about the way to scale your sales. Next slide. So shopping ads. So I don't know how many people are familiar with what a shopping ad is, but I'll briefly go into it. So a shopping ad basically is a promoted product pin. So when you upload your catalog, you have product pins. Like I said, a product pin is basically a pin that shows a product and it has price, availability, it has other details similar to what you see on Amazon. It has a lot of ratings and reviews, things that you'd see on any merchant website. But a shopping ad is a promoted product pin. So essentially when users are going through shopping surfaces, they can see an ad for a product pin, and that's a shopping ad. And these really are ways to further your reach on Pinterest. And recently we've expanded to LATAM countries and Japan as well. So I don't know if we have anyone from Japan. You're probably asleep right now, actually. But this is something that we recently made available in a few more countries. So next slide. So catalog plus shopping ads. So like I said, you get 5 times more impressions just by having a catalog. But with shopping ads, those are even better results. So brands that have shopping ads have 15% higher ROAS. And so I know for a lot of merchants here, you're really focused on performance marketing. That performance marketing is something that you would be able to find with shopping ads. And so we see a ROAS lift there. And so next slide, we'll talk a little bit about other benefits of shopping ads. And so advertisers using shopping ads saw 3 times higher monthly sales lift versus advertisers without. So you have a ROAS benefit, and then you have higher monthly sales lift from shopping ads. So this is something, if you have a budget for social media, Pinterest is one of those platforms that you really want to invest in to drive sales lift. Next slide. And we've added some new features. So if you already have catalogs and you're familiar with it, we've made it even easier to run shopping ads. So we've been able to create a product group automation, which essentially allows Pinterest to group your different products for you and run campaigns against the ones that are most likely to sell on Pinterest. Next slide. And so the Pinterest API for shopping, for merchants that are relying on an API or familiar with APIs, you're probably using Facebook or Google API for shopping. We recently launched in July a shopping API for Pinterest. And so the API allows you to manage feeds, create and edit product groups, and update the data in real time. And we saw that merchants that use the API saw up to 97% accurate information for products that were on Pinterest, as well as products compared to products that were on their website. Okay, next slide. Okay, so we have a video. I hope it works, Jasmine, I'm praying. But it talks about the different ways you can upload your catalog and a little bit more about the Pinterest API for shopping. Awesome. So as you see, there's so many different ways to upload your catalog, and recently the API has been one of the ways to really upload at scale and manage your data in real time. And so if you are a merchant that's familiar with APIs, I suggest you go to the developers page to learn more. And what's great is that if you are a Shopify merchant, I saw, I could scroll up and see all the different Shopify merchants. I was trying to find their names. Beth, Nicole, Kaylee, Brittany, Kenna. For those Shopify merchants, you're already integrated with the API. But this is for merchants that are outside of Shopify and WooCommerce. You can also integrate your store with the API as well. Next slide. Alice, we're on Shopify as well, so that's awesome. And so I've talked about the different featured shopping product suites. So definitely go to business.pinterest.com to learn more. But these are some of the features in summary that I've talked about today. Next slide. And so some key takeaways from today. Pinterest really enables you to reach shoppers who love shopping and spend more. Uploading catalogs is key to unlocking results. And once you upload your catalog, you can get better, faster results with ads and more solutions. And that's the end of the presentation. You can activate our full suite of shopping solutions on Pinterest and go to the Pinterest business site, like I said, to learn more.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jet. This was such an informative presentation, and I love the video. I'm seeing that we already have a lot of questions coming in through the Q&A chat. So thank you all for populating your questions there. If you see a question that resonates with you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And we can go ahead and answer, time permitting, those questions once we go through our pre-submitted questions. So thank you to everyone who submitted their questions beforehand. We're going to go through and answer as many of them as we can. And just a reminder for the Q&A chat that we will be focusing on shopping related questions. If you want to see more about VMP or merchant review, please let us know in the post-event survey so that we can continue to bring you these types of events for different topics. All right, so I'll go ahead and jump right into the questions. We have a lot of them. So first question here is, most of the products on my website have a lot of overlap in the descriptions. Will that affect me selling on Pinterest?
Hey, Jazz, I'll take on that one. So once a product is ingested on Pinterest, we typically don't look at the description. We use the product ID or item ID as the individual marker. So in simpler terms, as long as your product IDs or item IDs are unique, it shouldn't be a problem like selling on Pinterest.
Awesome. Great to know. Thank you so much, Moira. Now, going on to the next question. Is Pinterest considering services shopping in addition to products? So fitness, cooking classes, etc.
Yeah, I can take that one. So that's a really excellent question. So at the moment, a catalog can only include tangible products that you can buy at a store. But as Pinterest evolves, we're continuously looking for more ways to be inclusive to merchants. So that's definitely something that we're evaluating right now. It's not a capability at the moment, but I wouldn't say that it's not something that would never happen.
Awesome. You heard it here first. Thanks, Jeff. Moving on to our next question. Are Pinterest creators who use Wix for our shops able to integrate shopping, or only those who use other hosts such as Shopify?
I'll take on that one. We actually don't have an official partnership with Wix. We suggest using the ones we have partnership like Shopify and WooCommerce, but this is like a good feedback. But I believe those who use Wix, they tend to use the manual way in uploading their feed. But right now there is no official partnership with Wix.
Thanks, Moira. Moving on to the next question here. This is a question I've actually seen also in our chat, so maybe this will apply to a lot of different folks here. So the question is, I have my own website, but carry out e-commerce through Etsy. Is there a way I can sell through Pinterest under my own shop name?
I can take that.
Okay, I'll take on this one. This is similar. Okay. Okay, Jet.
You want me to do it?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, got it. Then we're eager. We both get this question all the time, probably. So we don't. So right now, you can only create a feed if you claim a domain. So unfortunately, you can't claim Etsy as your own. So we would suggest you create a manual feed based off your website. And so the process is documented in our help center. You would go to Pinterest.com business, and the article is called Before You Get Started with Catalog. So that's the best way to do it.
Thank you. And Joan, if we could drop that article in the chat so that folks have access, that would be really helpful. Thanks. All right, moving on to our next question here. What is the recommended plugin to create product feeds on Pinterest?
Okay, just wanted to check if Jet wanted to, but I'll take it. As previously mentioned and also shared on Jet's slide, we suggest to use Shopify or WooCommerce since it makes everything easier. Once you integrate through Shopify or WooCommerce, we claim your website. We also install the Pinterest tag. And the favorite part is we get your catalogs in there too automatically. So if you have anything outside of that, we currently don't have any partnership, so we suggest Shopify and WooCommerce.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm seeing our next question is similar to the previous one around Etsy. So the question is, I don't know how to begin. I have an Etsy and Shopify store. Want to use Pinterest, but don't know how to start.
Yeah, I can take this one. So the good news is you have a Shopify store. So it's really just the click of a button for you. So you can go into Shopify, and then you would need to download the Pinterest app, like within your Shopify platform. And then you can easily create a catalog. And then you even get some incentive dollars to have your, to run ads through Pinterest. So that's something I would encourage you to do. And let's drop the link in there as well for Shopify.
Yeah, I just went ahead and dropped the link. So if anyone's interested in what Jet just shared, just click that link and you can get started. All right, next question. How do you authenticate as a seller on the platform? Even though I have done all the requirements, I still get rejected.
I'll take on this one, but I did want to clarify by the word authenticate, because to me it could either mean two things: either the verified merchant program, or also having the red check mark on your profile. But just to clarify, these are two different things. I believe this could be an account specific issue as well, and we would need more details. So if you could like file a ticket with us via the link that Joan will share, we could definitely help you figure out what's going on with your feed and why you're getting rejected.
Thanks,
If
Moira.
if it's the verified merchant. Yeah, no worries.
Thanks, Moy. And again, for any account specific issues, please make sure to file a support ticket via our help center. Joan will be dropping a link to where you can file a ticket with support. All right, next question. Are the things I sell on Pinterest auto-linked to my site in terms of inventory?
Okay, I'll tackle this one. We actually do daily ingestions. So if you have a manual feed or using an integrated app like Shopify or WooCommerce, as long as you update your data source, it will also reflect on Pinterest automatically.
Awesome. Thank you, Moira. All right, next question here. I read that people sometimes have issues with getting their products into shopping if they have a lot of duplicate listings. For example, a lot of my listings for similar products look nearly identical text-wise. A lot of overlap in terms of describing those items. Is that something I should worry about?
I could take on that question. Um, it's a little bit too vague for me, to be honest, because there could be two answers to this. So as mentioned earlier, this seems account specific to me. So if you could file a ticket, whoever asked this question, it's going to be easier for us to help you.
Sounds good. All right, moving on. Can I create special occasion and product grouping pin boards from my feeds to Pinterest, or are pin boards created separately?
So I can take this question. So it's not a feature that we currently, it's not a feature that we support automatically once you create a product group. So it'll be manual and you can click on the products you want to and save it to a specific board you like. And it will not show up under the shop tab, but under the created tab.
Awesome, good to know. Thank you, Jet. And then moving on to our next question. Will this integrate with shipping software such as EasyShip, ShipStation, USPS, etc.?
I'll take on this one. I've actually heard of those third-party apps. I think they are only available if you either use like Google, Shopify. They are like a separate app within the Shopify app. But if it's going to be directly on Pinterest, it's not available. So if you use like Shopify or WooCommerce, you can definitely search for those app specific like shipping specialty apps.
Awesome, good to know. And then moving on to our last question here from our pre-submitted form. Standard pins versus product pins, what's the difference? Also seeing this question a lot in our chat, so this is a good one to end on.
Good question. So a standard pin is basically any pin outside of shopping that exists on Pinterest. And so when you upload, like when you create a pin via Pin Builder, that would be a standard pin. A product pin essentially is a pin that is uploaded via a catalog. So product pins contain details such as price, availability, they contain reviews, they contain different angles of a product. And so there's a lot more rich information. And so that information is used when pinners are trying to target, like find products they want to buy. that information is used to target the right pinners. So we definitely encourage you to upload a catalog because that's how you essentially create a product pin.
Awesome. Thank you, Jet. And I just dropped a link in the chat as well for more information on what Jet just covered. And I know that we are a little bit over time, and I'm seeing some additional questions in the chat. So I see a question here with a couple of upvotes. Question from Teresa. Are there some content planning frameworks for Pinterest to help brands get started on a new account? So this is a really great question, and we do have a few different resources available. So we will be sharing out this deck, and as you can see, Jet linked out to the Pinterest business site. That's somewhere you can get a lot of information, and also the Pinterest business community. So these events are hosted by our community team. So if you head over to our Pinterest business site, we actually have a new shopping page. So a dedicated forum page. So if you have questions about shopping, if you want to share tips and tricks with other merchants on how to get started, that's a really great resource to go to. And Joan will share that link again in the chat in case you missed it. But it's a really great resource. And we have many different Pinterest-led resources available, as well as the Help Center, always a great place to start. So I hope that that is kind of helpful with setting you all off in the right direction. All right. So thank you all so much for being here today. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw a highly upvoted one. I just wanted to touch on that one. There was one about what are the best like recommendations for titles, images, etc. I think it's a really good question. So I linked the feed optimization playbook. So we do have a feed playbook that really touches on like what are the best images, what products to include in what details to include in your feed. So I'd probably look through that as you're working on your feed just to make sure you have the optimal presence on Pinterest. But yeah, that's the question I thought. I was like, oh, okay, this is a really good question, but we can link that, and then I think we can wrap up the rest of this meeting.
All right, thank you so much for answering that question. I know that we have some additional questions as well, so please make sure to head over to the community site if you have more questions. And also if you have any account-specific questions, please make sure to file a ticket. And then lastly, just want to give a huge thank you to Jet and Moira for being here today and answering so many questions and providing all of this really helpful information. We will be sharing the recording out in an email, and we'll also be linking out to this deck as an additional resource if you're interested. And please make sure to fill out the post-event survey that you're going to receive via email after this event. It's really helpful that we get your feedback moving forward, just to make sure that we continue to bring you events that are top of mind for you and are answering your most pressing Pinterest questions. So again, thank you everyone for being here today. We hope that this was helpful, and we'll see you all at the next event. Bye everyone.